Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with Joe Mitlin. I'm Joe Mitlin. It's my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Sakura Genesis show. Really good show. They had a lot of great feuds that they sort of tied up here, a lot of great feuds that they built on. There was a lot of great stuff on this. Was it the greatest show ever? No, but New Japan tends to bring out the big guns and tends to deliver for these types of big shows. Wrestle Kingdom 12 is a great example, and a lot of the other Wrestle Kingdom events that they've done in the past. Sakura Genesis, the G1 Climax, which, speaking of which, they really hyped up the G1 Climax, and the upcoming one, which is going to be almost a month-long event, with a few days off here and there, but it's got a really big feel to it, and I hope I can review as many of those possible. And I do want to take a moment to thank everybody who has checked out my New Japan reviews, including my Strong Style Evolved review, and the various ones I've done, any other reviews and shows that I've done on my channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been great so far for the 3+ years that I've been doing this channel, and I just really want to thank you guys. So thank you very much for that. So now we move on to the show, the review. Kevin Kelly, Don Callis, Rocky Romero on commentary. Romero was off commentary for the Roppongi 3K match and a little bit of the match afterwards. But it was good. It was nice to have a 3-man team on here. No offense against Don Callis, but he's a decent heel announcer. I know he's been in the business for a number of years, but at times he's probably the least entertaining of the heel announcers. I mean, like, he's still really knowledgeable, don't get me wrong. He's not anything like Josh Matthews. Josh Matthews is absolute shit. And Callis and Kevin Kelly do play well off of each other, and Callis, of course, being the conniving, dick that he is, praising Rocky Romero, but when he's on commentary, but then when Rocky's off commentary, he's not going to hear this, Callis is just going to rag on him. So at times, Callis's snarkiness works, at times it doesn't. But that being said, they still add a ton to the show, especially Kevin Kelly, who really does get fans up to speed on a lot of the feuds. And I admit, for somebody that is only able to catch probably about, I'd say, 75 to 80% of the New Japan shows, he does a really good job with that. So we have Takahashi and Chase Owens versus the Young Bucks. Decent enough opener. There was no doubt the Young Bucks were going to get a win to get some momentum back after Strong Style Evolved. And that blowaway match that they had with the Golden Lovers. And I'm not even a Young Bucks fan. I probably never will be. But I will admit that they had a great match against the Golden Lovers. And that was great stuff. That is a Match of the Year candidate right there. And we also had one or two Match of the Year candidates on this show. One in particular, especially. Good enough match, though. Decent opener. Young Bucks win. Okay, cool. And you had Bullet Club show the unity and that kind of stuff. As Bullet Club's starting to become almost like the NWO Black and White, NWO, Wolfpack, and God, what was it? Almost like the LWO. I wonder who would be members of the LWO of the Bullet Club if we were to go with that route. Oh well, we'll discuss that at some point. But then we go to Taichi and Izuka. I'm sorry, I tend to screw up his name because of how it's spelled. I call him older Master Roshi. That's what he reminds me of. But they faced off against Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii, I guess, is how you actually pronounce his name, but I wasn't aware of that. And Yano is alright. It had some comedic spots. It was fun enough, don't get me wrong. Yano being Yano. It was a rematch from 2 Sundays ago, which, if you recall, actually ended in a DQ, and I enjoyed reviewing that one. I reviewed a ton of shows. I've only missed like a couple New Japan shows that they've done. I might miss a few here in April due to being burned out just on reviews in general. And work schedule, because I'm going to be working a ton, especially from about the 11th on. Anyway, good enough match. Not great. Yano and Ishii win. Good stuff. We move on to match number 3. Makabe, Taguchi, and Michael Elgin versus Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bad Luck Fale. It was an never open weight 6-man tag team championship match. There were people that were thinking the team of Makabe, Taguchi, and Elgin might win. All due respect, that was not a good choice. And nothing against Makabe, and him tasting gold at some point will be nice. I'm not necessarily a fan of Elgin getting any kind of gold in Japan. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And Taguchi, there's no reason for him to get gold at this point. I mean, but then again, a six-man tag might actually be the best way to go about it because he's mostly there for comedy. It was good stuff. I mean, the champs retained, obviously. Tama Tonga, and I'm going to go a little WWE here. Tama Tonga is what WWE wishes Roman Reigns could be. Tama Tonga is world-class, stellar, just his persona in the ring. But then again, if you're the son of Haku, Ming, you damn well better be good and ready to go. Good stuff. The Tongans win, and there we go. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. They did pretty well. And then we have Tanahashi, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson versus Jay White, Goto, and Yoshihashi. You had some good storytelling here. Tanahashi and Yoshihashi, Tana Yoshihashi, as I started calling them, had some good stuff going and everything. You had Goto and Juice Robinson, of course, having their back and forth and everything, since Juice had recently pinned Goto in a match, in I believe it was a tag or a six-man match. Sorry, some of the stuff mixes together, but he pinned him in a six-man or a regular tag match, and was possibly in line for a never open weight championship match. And then, of course, Jay White and David Finlay playing out the whole thing for Strong Style Evolved. Good stuff. Faces win here. Tanahashi would play a factor, would make an appearance later in the show, which we will talk about. But it was a good match. It was enjoyable. Built storylines properly. I really enjoyed that. It was a perfect way to do it and include talents like Yoshihashi and Tanahashi, and have them get their spots in and everything, and show people why Tanahashi is still the ace. I mean, he's going to continue to show that, even if it's to the detriment of his own body, because the man's 41, 42 years old coming up, and he's beat his body up to shit. But hey, he's earned the respect of fans, and he's still a world-class athlete, even with the mileage he's had. And we move on to match number 5. This show really, until about, I would say, the third hour, flew by. And it wasn't that anything dragged on, but this show flew by. I mean, for a 4-hour show, I think by the time Okada finished his victory speech, oops, spoilers, which then again, if you're watching the review, I'm going to tell you who won. But after that, I think it was like 4:10, 4:15 when it ended. So it wasn't quite Wrestle Kingdom length. I think Wrestle Kingdom ended up being, what, 5.5 hours or something like that? 5.5 or 6 hours, depending. But still, actually had a really good pace to it. But now we go to match number 5. Evil, Sonata, and Naito. So LIJ versus Killer Elite Squad and Minoru Suzuki. And boy, Naito just loves having a death wish against Suzuki. He really does. I love Naito. I love Suzuki. I'm on the Killer Elite Squad. I know Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. have actually been teaming for a number of years, especially pretty much since Archer left WWE. I'm sure he made some indie appearances after that, but him and Davey Boy Smith Jr. have been a great team. Don't get me wrong, they have really good chemistry. I just don't care for the water spitting shit. And of course, Archer making a kid cry in the audience. I mean, that's an old school heel move, so I guess I really shouldn't dump on that too much. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. But then again, that's why I'm not a wrestler. But Suzuki attacks Naito right off the bat, and that pretty much builds on the whole thing. You have that storyline going on. You have Killer Elite Squad wanting to get at Evil and Sonata after the whole Wrestle Kingdom 12 debacle in their sense. I mean, it wasn't that the match was a debacle, but they wanted to get revenge on Evil and Sonata and everything and get the tag titles back. And because Evil had recently been out with an orbital fracture, and good to see that Evil's okay. I was not able to see the show a couple days ago where he actually had his return match. But it's great to see that Evil hasn't lost a step, that he's doing well, that he's back in the ring. Him and Sonata have great chemistry. It was a good match. Not great because, sorry, Killer Elite Squad just don't do anything for me. They just don't. But I give credit to Davey Boy Smith Jr. for being a tremendous athlete, and Archer for still doing some great things in the ring for his height and for his age and for the mileage he has on his body. He's still doing some great things. I just don't necessarily care for the team. But I can see why they have fans, and that's great stuff. And they did well here. You had, of course, Killer Elite Squad pin. I believe they pinned Evil. They pinned Evil and then 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. It builds to that where you're going to have a tag title match, maybe later in April, possibly in May. It depends on when they do their big shows. I'm going to have to try and keep up on the schedule as best I can. And again, I really hope I can watch as many shows of the G1 Climax and review them as possible. It's just going to depend on time, on scheduling and work and everything. But here we go. After the match, Naito basically challenges Suzuki for a title match, I think. I don't speak Japanese, so either Naito wanted to maybe find out where he gets his head towels from. He wanted to get an an IWGP Intercontinental title match, or he has a death wish. I think it might be all three. But again, I mean, I know, and I'm not mocking. I really don't speak Japanese, but I kind of got the gist that Naito wants to face Suzuki. It's kind of what they've been building for the past month and a half. Makes sense, and I'm all for Suzuki and Naito. I think it's going to be great. Suzuki will retain. I think Naito's going to beat Okada at some point, maybe in July or August, depending on when they're going to have Okada defend the title next. And if Okada happens to be successful in his next title defense, then Naito will beat him. And I think that would be a great way to do it. Naito could then go and be champion in the Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe have a rematch and beat Okada, and that would be good stuff. But here we go. We go to so the whole point is of this match, decent enough 6-man. Roppongi 3K versus El Desperado and Kanemaru. Sorry. I also write really badly, so sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. That's my problem. So those two teams versus Hiromu and Bushi, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match, 3-way match. Good stuff. Good. It was really good stuff. But before this, they had a G1 Climax video package. I'm trying not to laugh at the G1 Climax name. I'm sorry. I have a dirty mind. That's just how I am. I'm really, dear God, I'm trying not to bust up laughing here. I'm sorry. It's just funny. It's funny to me. It's funny because I have a dirty mind. But the events, I believe it starts the 14th and ends on August 12th. I mean, and there's days off in between and everything. And it's at, and forgive me if I don't pronounce this right, but Bukoden or something like that. It's really, I read up very, very little on it, but apparently it's got a very rich history of New Japan wrestling and Japanese wrestling in general. So I guess the final 3 days of the G1 Climax, the 28th G1 Climax, are going to take place there, which if that's the case, that's great. That's great to revisit, go back with history and visit a place and have something there that has such a rich history. So that's great. I will try to do more research on that, but please let me know in the comments what this particular venue, what the venue means to New Japan Wrestling, Japanese wrestling in general. Maybe give me some article links if you don't want to explain it all, and I would love to read up on this stuff. I'm trying to learn more about, as much about Japanese wrestling. Even though I know some about it, I'm trying to learn even more about it, since I've always loved Japanese wrestling. But, yeah, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team 3-way match is good stuff. It's fast-paced. I mean, you had expected great tag team work. I had very little doubt the champs would retain here, since I felt that at least one title would change hands. I felt one title would change hands. I was wrong, but I felt one title would change hands. It's good stuff. There was a really, really cool spot where you had a German suplex attempt, and then Bushi, I believe, flips over one of the members of Roppongi 3K, or might even flipped over El Desperado and done a actually, but it was really hard to tell. I think it actually might have been El Desperado that did that, but the whole point is it's this great sunset flip, with a German suplex spot that was just really superbly well done. Spots kind of mixed together for me on this, but of course, champs retain. El Desperado, at one point the referee's down as El Desperado gets in the ring, uses the title belt to, gain advantage, and then gets the pin. But El Desperado wasn't a legal man. Suzuki going using, of course, dirty tactics to get the win. as is tradition, and I'm sorry, after being banned for, for put on excursion or being banned for year and a half or 2 years, I believe, if I remember hearing right, and I've done a little bit of studying on that. Yeah, I'd want to use dirty tactics too and everything and show people, oh no, you want to ban us for 2 years? We're going to destroy everybody and take all the titles. And they have two of the titles. They could always get one more. Sonata could have had the title, but I mean, I know Sonata's not a member of Suzuki Gun, but I'm just saying Sonata could have also had his own title and everything, and that would have been pretty cool. LIJ could have had that, but whatever. Can't beggars can't be choosers. Still would have had Sonata win, but that's okay. Sonata still got a belt. Sorry, I'm getting my factions mixed up. I apologize. Great stuff though, and then we get to this was the match of the show. Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll. They had had matches before for years, and really good matches. They'd been part of tag matches and three ways. They had had a little bit of a tease of having a rematch when they had their actions at Strong Style Evolved. I almost said Sakura Style Evolved. That would have been wrong. But this is great stuff. I mean, I can't describe everything that happened in this match as well as just watching the match would be. Just basically go watch it. I'll give you the highlights here that I remember. It's like it had a huge fight feel, as you would expect with this IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Ospreay, of course, went aerial at first. Scurll just grounding him. I cannot actually believe I managed to pronounce Marty Scurll's last name correctly. At least as correctly as I'm able to. He hit Ospreay's neck and it kept working on. Ospreay sold that neck like a champ. Every time he hit a move, he was holding his neck. Every time he was doing that, great stuff. It was wonderful. Great back and forth stuff. The tombstone on the outside. I mean, it looked like Scurll hurt his knees. Ospreay was selling his neck like crazy. And Marty's like, no, I'm not taking the count out. Throw him in. I'm going to pin him right here. I'm going to pin him. I'm going to make him submit. I'm going to beat him with something. There were just so many great spots to call. It was just amazing. You had the Spanish fly off the ring apron, but freaking, it's like you'll see gifs of it if you can get a chance. Check out the video of it, but like just Ospreay just busts open his head here. I mean, I'm sorry if my camera's acting up, bad lighting, but he just busts his head open on this side. I mean, I'm saying on this side, I think it was this side, but the whole point is, it was just bad. He busted his head open badly, and it wasn't the last time that we would see blood on this night. But there was that spot. That was just vicious. And, it looked like Ospreay get the win with the Os Cutter, and he couldn't capitalize. And Scurll couldn't get the crossface chicken wing to get Ospreay to tap out. Huge feel on this match. And, of course, Ospreay somehow managing to get the win. This is a match of the year candidate, by far. I'm sure they've had better matches. I can't recall any right now. I know I've seen a couple, streaming them on the website. They did have a really good one from last year. This one, though, since we're talking in the now, for 2018, for end of the year matches, I'm going to have a whole lot of shows to talk about, the best New Japan matches of the year. I might have to do 2 shows and just do, like, say, 20 matches, do 10 matches each, something like that. Because so far, New Japan, as far as match quality, New Japan match quality for a few years has been better than anything else in the world. One could argue, actually, probably for about the last 5 to 6 years, since New Japan has really started to rise back up in popularity. But watching this, it was edge of your seat beauty, the amount of blood, the amount of psychology, the amount of great stuff. Selling by Ospreay, and Ospreay's done selling in matches before, but the way he did it here really sold the whole thing of the neck, like, oh shit, Ospreay might lose. I still thought that Ospreay would win. I figured of the titles, this was the least likely to change, but boy, they took me on a roller coaster. And they took a lot of fans on a roller coaster. Shout out to the various people that stayed up with me. If you're watching this, you know who you are. The various people that stayed up along with me to watch this show live. It was worth it. I don't care that I got to work in about an hour and I've had maybe 2.5 hours of sleep. But Osprey, being Skrull, great stuff. I'd say this puts the cap on the feud for now. You can always revisit this later in the year. Maybe they could be in the Super Juniors again. They could be part of the G1 Climax, something like that. But the whole point is put the cap on this feud for now. And Osprey challenging Kushida, who's sitting there with the Japanese commentary team. I am for this. I think that this match will be tremendous. And if I recall right, wasn't Kushida part of the four-way that was at Wrestle Kingdom 12? I know Hiromu was part of it, and I know Skrull was, but I think Kushida was. Maybe it's Sonata. No, it wasn't Sonata. It was. I believe it was Kushida. But I do want to know who the woman that was sitting next to Kushida was. Is she a wrestler? Is she a local celebrity? Is she just an announcer? I'm just curious. One, I thought she was pretty, but two, I was just curious because I'm trying to know more about, various Japanese talents. Again, thought she was pretty also. But I'm for Osprey versus Kushida. I think it's going to be a great match. Then we have the Golden Lovers versus Cody Rhodes, and I'm going to call him Cody Rhodes here. I don't care what WWE says. He's Cody fucking Rhodes. Well, that's neither here nor there. He is Cody Rhodes. And Hangman Page, and this is good. This was really good. This was, I don't want to say it was a come down from the previous match, but after hitting those heights, anything that these guys did, it was going to be all about storytelling. They could hit some great moves, but it was all going to be about storytelling because it was building to Omega and Cody at the Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor show, I believe, in about 6 days, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch live. I might not even be able to watch it all. So for anybody that does reviews of these shows of Ring of Honor, please make sure that you make it the best reviews possible because I really want this match to get a huge amount of momentum and buzz. I will be, of course, be watching the WWE Hall of Fame. That's just what I'll be doing. Or no, Hall of Fame. I'll be watching whatever's on Saturday. If I get a chance, I will watch Super Card of Honor, but we'll see. But some great storytelling here with Cody, Omega, and Ibushi because Cody just doesn't want Kenny to have anything. Even though Cody's got a ton of shit, he's still jealous of Omega and Ibushi for having that great friendship. It's great tag wrestling, as you would expect with this. Of course, cutting the ring off and everything, especially Cody and Hangman. There was just a lot of great psychology here. A lot of great psychology. The Young Bucks actually showed up at one point to stop Cody from doing a table dive. A dive, to knock Omega through a table. I thought that was really good storytelling. I thought that was exceptional work. And again, not a fan of the Young Bucks, but I like the story that they're telling here. Perhaps the Young Bucks play a factor. One hits a super kick on Cody, one hits a super kick on Omega at Super Card of Honor. I will make one prediction here. This feud's going to continue. I think Cody's going to win. Cody will win at the Ring of Honor show. They will build and build on this for a number of months off and on, but number of months off and on. And at the All In show, especially if it is going to be Omega versus Cody, Omega's going to win. And people are going to love it. And I hope that All-In show can be broadcast on some kind of streaming service so I can watch it because I am for it. That's what I think is going to happen, though. I think Cody's going to beat Omega at the Ring of Honor show in a few days. And Cody was bleeding badly at one point. I mean, he was just busted up over his eye. And I'm like, ow, actually, I think it was this eye. But anyway, the whole point is he was bleeding bad. And I don't know if it was hard way or if he bladed. I don't know. But boy, that was intense. And it was great storytelling with it. The table spot, I think Omega got legit hurt. Because that table didn't exactly look totally breakable. I mean, it was kind of an odd table. But whatever, it was good. It was good stuff. And Cody pins Ibushi, as you would expect. I mean, he used the tights and everything rolled up, so it was a dirty tactic. But he got the victory, and Cody and Hangman celebrate. Ibushi Ibushi almost gets beat up by Omega and Cody some more, and then, well, no, I mean, not by Omega and Cody, by Hangman and Cody, and then Omega makes a save. I really need to. I really need to try and take an energy shot before some of these. I apologize for stumbling over my words, but Omega stopped Ibushi from getting totally beat up. Builds more stuff there. I think Omega and Ibushi. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to win tag gold or what. I don't know. But all I know is I believe Cody's going to beat Omega at the Ring of Honor show. Good stuff, though. And then we move on to the main event. And this was a really, really good match. It was Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr., IWGP Jr., or IWGP Heavyweight Championship match. And this was really good. It was really good storytelling. It had such a great build to it. I mean, it took Zack Sabre Jr., who's an incredible athlete and very credible in the ring and very legit. There are people that are not fans of his style, and that's fine. And I mean, some of you guys are in the comments, and hey, I totally respect you guys for saying that. You guys cannot be fans of his style. I am. I really appreciate his style. I would like, as a wrestling fan, I would like to shake Zack Sabre Jr.'s hand, if I can get his goddamn name right, because if I could wake up a little bit, if I could shake Sabre Jr.'s hand and just say thank you for being such a legit athlete, thank you for being so great. That's my opinion. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is a tremendous wrestler. He's very interesting to watch in the ring, but I can totally get why his style is not for everybody. And I kind of hate when I see back and forth between fans arguing. Oh, I don't. And it's like, oh, I think he's great, and I hate people that don't think he's great. You know, there are people that I don't think are great on the New Japan roster and on the WWE roster, and I'm going to ignore every other roster, but the whole point is there are people that we all have likes and dislikes. Let's just enjoy the fact as wrestling fans that we can appreciate great styles and a meshing of styles. And that's what this match was. It was a great meshing of styles. It was great submissions by Sabre Jr. as you expected. He countered a whole bunch of Okada's shit. It's like he scouted him. It's like Sabre Jr. knows what he's doing. And it's not like Okada's predictable, but he was able to counter enough of this stuff and really put the element of danger there. I mean, it was really, really good. Really good stuff. They had dueling submissions at first. Okada actually was doing some good submission stuff. And Okada had the advantage in the strikes. Not that Sabre Jr. was a slouch throwing European uppercuts, but it was just really good. Really big feel to it. Sabre Jr. worked over Okada a whole lot. I mean, like I said, countering a whole lot of his shit. At one point, Sabre Jr.'s over the guardrail or the barricade. Okada dives into Sabre Jr., knocking him into some more chairs. Also good stuff. They had everything to this match that you needed. This is probably Sabre Jr.'s best match in a while. This is probably Okada. This might have actually been better than the match that Okada had with Sonata, and I love Sonata. But this might have actually been better. Because the element was, oh God, Sabre Jr. might do it. Now, I honestly thought a couple times, oh, maybe he will. No, he didn't. He ultimately didn't. There were many near falls, though. Sabre Jr. looking like he was going to get it. Okada looked like he was going to get it. Then 3 Rainmakers. There were 2. Couldn't capitalize. Then finally a 3rd Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada retains. Sabre Jr. didn't look weak. It was good stuff. This is what a main event should be. Sure, okay, Okada's title reign at this point, by the time I guess he defends it again, is going to be near 700 days. And who's he going to face? Well, he tied Tanahashi, so clearly he's going to face Gedo. Kidding, he's going to face Tanahashi, because Tanahashi came out and through my very, very limited ability to understand anything, I can barely understand English, of course, but to understand Japanese, I got enough of the gist of it to know that Tanahashi wanted to face Okada. Oh, you want to break my record? You tied my record. You want to break it? You gotta go through me. That's how you build things. Okada will probably beat Tanahashi. I'm not saying I would be against Tanahashi winning, but it would almost be going backwards. You would almost have to have Okada beat Tanahashi to be the record holder, and then lose to Naito on the 13th. Unlucky number 13. And that's where you have it happen. You have it happen with Naito. Because then Naito will have lost to Suzuki. Naito will seem defeated. Will get a will somehow earn the shot against Okada. and then we'll beat him. And that's how you build with that. But this was a really, really good show. I'm going to give it an A minus. I'm going to say A minus for the storytelling, for the way they built this. This was really fucking good. Sure, there were a few quibbles with it. You're going to have that with any show, but this was an A minus show. It was tremendous, and especially that Ospreay Skrull match. That was tremendous. A tremendous match. Hats off to everybody that fought through all the pain, all the stuff, especially Cody and Ospreay for bleeding and still going on doing that, and the doctors and the referees for not stopping the match to do that. I mean, good to have doctors there to make sure it's okay, but not stopping the match, that was good stuff. But A minus, that's what I gotta say. What do you guys gotta say? Let me know in the comments. Did you think Sakura Genesis compared to, I don't want to say compared to Wrestle Kingdom 12, but did it compare to past Big April events that New Japan Wrestling has done? What did you guys think? Do you guys agree with my idea on who should beat Okada, or who would you have beat Okada? Let me know that also. Like, share, subscribe also. It's been Real Honesty with Jar Mifflin. I'm Jar Mifflin, and I will see you all soon.